Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 838 and Doubleshot number 732. Like I said in my last video, I fixed the numbering for the last few videos, so yeah, it's correct now. Okay, we have two more Spider-Man trades. The next episode's also going to be two more Spider-Man trades, just in case you're wondering. First up, it is Spider-Man Animal Magnetism. This pretty much collects 3 one-shots and 1 issue of a series. We have Spider-Man Back and Quack, Spider-Ham 25th Anniversary Special, Ultimate Civil War, Spider-Ham and Top Dog number 10. Back and Quack is sort of a Back in Black loose tie-in, where you have Spider-Man team up with Howard the Duck. Yeah, Marvel loves teaming up these two, and I think it's a brilliant stroke of genius the fact these two keep teaming up. The first time these two actually met was in Howard the Duck number 1 from the 70s. And yes, Chip Zdarsky had Spider-Man appear for the first 6 issues of his run for Howard the Duck. He appeared in the entire 1 through 5, first 5 issues, and he even appeared in the first issue of the relaunch in 2015, though the book got canceled 11 issues. Yeah, the book itself also is loose tied to Howard the Duck mythos, with the whole thing of the character Bev, where she comes back and she's still with Howard. She's with Howard for a long time until the Chip Zdarsky run. Yeah, all thing with the smiles. It's a really interesting little one-shot, and I really enjoyed it. This is also, I think, by far the first time Spider-Man and Howard have actually met up with each other. As far as I think of, this is probably the first time since the 70s these two have actually met. Well, probably since the first time since the first issue of the original Howard the Duck run back in the 70s. That's probably the first time I can think of. Of course, after this, these two would not meet up again until 2014, I believe it was. No, 2015. Yeah, they meet up again in 2015, where he had him appear in 6 straight issues, which was amazing. Yeah, the Spider-Ham, the 20th anniversary special of Spider-Ham and the Ultimate Civil War. Ultimate Civil War Spider-Ham is just a parody of Civil War with Spider-Ham himself. Yeah, Spider-Ham also, that's him on the cover. Yeah, he also appears currently in the Spider-Dan crossover, and he's also appeared as Hallucination in the pages of Spider-Gwen, and he has also appeared in Spider-Verse. He's an interesting little character. It's basically Peter Parker as a pig. Yep. Top Dog is just Spider-Man team up with the character Top Dog. Yeah, that is literally what this character is. Yeah. Plus, you have these one-shot variations of various different characters. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and this I thought was really funny. This is probably a poke fun at Joe Quesada, where Spider-Ham was turned into a zombie. And he says, "Very funny, Mr. Quesada. Ha, ha, ha." Yeah, that's the poke fun at Joe Quesada. Yeah, these one-shot, this stuff in here is just really, really good. Who writes these things? Because they're so good. The Back and Quack one-shot is done by Stuart Moore and now worked by Mark Brooks and Ray Height. The Spider-Ham 20th Anniversary Special is done by former Editor-in-Chief Tom Mafalco and Tom Payer. With artwork by Jacob Cabot, Adam DeKirk, Robert Capella, and Angus Gerberkaska. Ultimate Civil War Spider-Ham, done by JMS. Artwork by Mike Wardario, Mike Manley, Nick Durgada, John Severn, Scotty Young. Yeah, he's actually, believe it or not, Scotty Young is the writer of Deadpool right now. Yeah, an artist writing a comic book. And people think that's a Todd McFarlane phenomenon when Jack Kirby did it 20 years before he did. And yet, why is this phenomenon named after Jack the King Kirby? I should probably do a comic book history on Jack the King Kirby. I've been thinking of one. Jim Manford, Ariel Avalai, Clayton Crane. I've always wanted this guy. He's got really damn good artwork. I actually own a couple of trades with him doing the artwork. Lawrence Campbell, Chris Otto, Todd Nuck, Robert Capella, Sean Phillips, and June Chang. Top Dog number 10 is done by George Cargani and worked by Werner Kramer and John Romita. It's probably Romita Jr. They don't really say which one it is, but yeah, it's probably Junior. Let me check and see. Is it his style artwork? Let's take a look and see about this. Because I know Romita Jr.'s artwork. And it's probably him because he has this thing. Or artwork appears a little dark. Yeah, that's basically his style. I would definitely say that I agree with the opinion that the book that his artwork felt that fit was Batman, and it was a pretty good story. These one-shots are really good. I do recommend getting this trade to anybody. If you're a fan of Spider-Ham or just want something pure fun, if you're a fan of Howard the Duck, I do recommend this as well. I kind of wish Marvel would collect like a lot of the stuff, like do more Howard the Duck stuff to collect Howard the Duck aside from his own ongoing series. Put all like one book. Back and Quack basically counts as a Spider-Man Howard the Duck one-shot, but I don't know why they couldn't call it Spider-Man and Howard the Duck. Why did they have to call it Spider-Man Back and Quack? Yeah, it's an odd name, but anybody could tell by the damn cover it's Spider-Man teaming up with Howard the Duck. Yeah, that is Howard the Duck. He has looked like this for years. Steve Gerber basically drew him like this originally. Yeah, he did alter his appearance recently with Chip Zdarsky's run. I'll give this book a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Next up is Spider-Man versus Silver Sable. Collecting Amazing Spider-Man 265, 279, 281, and Peter Parker, The Spectre Spider-Man 29. Now, the two writers here. Tom DeFalco writes the Amazing Spider-Man issues. Peter David does the Spectre Spider-Man issues. Our work in here is done by Ron Fritz, Brett Breeding, Alan Kupperberg, and Rick Lenardi. Yeah, the guy who also later on become the co-creator with Peter David on Spider-Man 29. Yeah, these is basically collecting Spider-Man's first few encounters with Silver Sable. Yeah, it's the first like handful of appearances. Yeah, first appearance from 265, where she becomes fascinated by Spider-Man, but not exactly in love with him after her encounter with him. And of course, if you read these issues now, yeah, they're thinking, okay, what's with the black costume? What? Okay, yeah, that was something he did back in the 80s. But yeah, there was something I should point out though about this particular issue right here. Yeah, look at this cover. Of course, he's facing its Jack-o'-lantern. This is the original Jack-o'-lantern, Jason Macendale, who later became the second official Hobgoblin. Okay, and the whole Where Spider-Man thing, that was a brief thing that Spider-Man did back in the 80s, where he actually went missing. He briefly retired. One of his many retirements. Yes, one of many times he's actually quit being Spider-Man. And like and this is one of those many times it doesn't stick. He doesn't stay retired very long. He stays retired maybe for like a few months. And then he comes back. Yeah. And of course, this particular three-parter is debut of these guys. Meet the Sinister Syndicate. Those of you who wrote the Spider-Man ride from Universal, this is not the lineup that was on that ride. That's a completely different lineup, unrelated. This is the original lineup consisted of the original Beetle, Abe Jenkins, Speed Demon, Rhino. Thinking, yeah, that is Rhino. That is the Russian character. I'm not sure why they said he gave an upgrade in the 80s. Yeah, I haven't met any artist who actually worked in the Spider-Man comics in the 80s can actually explain this to me. Also, Boomerang and Hydro Man. Yeah, that's Hydro Man. Those of you who remember him from the Spider-Man animated series, yeah, this is what he looked like in the comics. Who exactly are the Sinister Syndicate? Yeah, they're a group of Spider-Man villains who are mercenaries. And they somehow hired better. It's a similar idea to that of the Sinister Six, except these are a group of criminals who actually are mercenaries. Now, the Beetle, I should point out though, was not originally a Spider-Man villain, despite being commonly depicted as one. Yes, he has been a Spider-Man villain since the 70s. If you're curious though, which superhero did he fight first? Did he fight Spider-Man's first appearance? Nope, he fought the Human Torch. And after Human Torch ended his brief solo feature from Strange Tales, his villains got basically put all over the place. I mean, two of the villains became two of the founding members of the Frightful Four. That's the Wizard and the Trapster. The Beetle got dumped in Spider-Man and basically stuck there for a long time. For a good, 30 years. 20 years. He was in Spider-Man comics. He did occasionally appear in other comics, like appeared in Captain America, Thor, and Avengers. But for some reason, Marvel just made him a definitive Spider-Man villain. If you wonder what he's doing now, he doesn't have the name Blue Beetle anymore. Nope, he has not been known as the Beetle since the 1990s. He is currently under the title of Mach 10. Not kidding about that. That is literally his name, Mach 10. That's something he kind of started back in the late 90s when he in the one of the incarnations of Mass Evil formed the Thunderbolts. Yep. If you're curious though, who is the Beetle right now? Not Blue Beetle from DC Comics. The Beetle currently is the daughter of Spider-Man villain Tombstone. Yes, seriously, Tombstone has got a daughter who is in her 20s, and she's a lawyer in her secret identity. Yeah, despite the fact her father is a known gangster. Yes, Lonnie Lincoln, a.k.a. Tombstone, the guy who looks like is a freaking piece of, who looks like an actual granite. Yeah, apparently the guy doesn't breathe. Yeah, this is one of the weird things with the character. As for the other characters, well, Boomerang currently is a supporting character in Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, Nick Spencer had to make him a supporting character. No idea why. Oh, in case you're wondering, did he fight Spider-Man? Was he the original Spider-Man villain? Like the Beetle, he was originally a Hulk villain. I'm not kidding, he was a Hulk villain. Speed Demon. He fought Iron Man first. And then for some reason, Marvel just liked keeping him in the pages of Spider-Man comics for a good 10 years before I did something else. As a matter of fact, originally this guy was known as the Wizard. Yes, the Wizard. He became the Speed Demon in issue 222 Amazing Spider-Man. The Rhino, of course, obviously is a Spider-Man villain. But yeah, Rhino and Hydra Man are actually already Spider-Man villains. The other three were not originally Spider-Man villains. They were simply just dumped in his rogues gallery because what else are you going to do with these characters? In the case of Boomerang, he's only fought the Hulk once and never fought him again. Most of the time, he's basically a forgettable character. Oh yeah, and this guy's also responsible. I mentioned this in my review of, I think it was Spider-Man New York Stories. This guy actually killed the second Jackpot's husband. Yep, he did. This is actually really good. It's a good first encounter of Spider-Man and Silver Sable. And despite the fact, yes, this is says Volume 1. There is not a Volume 2. There is none. No idea why. If you're curious, though, when the heck this trade came out, this came out in 2006. Yes, 2006. They also had the Black Cat show up in here, which she has an encounter with the Foreigner. Who is this character? He's Silver Sable's ex-husband. Not kidding about that. Why is he called the Foreigner? No idea. I've never found another reason why for that. Also, no one knows this guy's real name. If you're curious though, what the heck does this guy look like? Yeah. Yeah. This guy here is the Foreigner. Yeah, that is the Foreigner. He's occasionally fought Spider-Man over the years, but never over Silver Sable. No, it was mainly with the Black Cat. I'm going to give this book a 10 out of 10. I love the stories in here. And I love the fact that Slott basically brought this character back recently. Yeah, they brought him back just this year. And quite possibly one of the worst Spider-Man stories in years. Yeah, it was a story that came out just before the tie-in for Secret Empire last year. Yeah. Where she took back her country from a dictator, but no one else got away. Yep. He got away, but he came back for a 3-parter that led into issue 800 for Code Red. Yeah, that particular storyline. Yeah, that was the last time officially that Sable showed up. Yeah, when he returned last year. That was the first time in 5 years she's been seen. You see, the thing was, for some reason, and I have no idea what Slott did this for, he implied Silver Sable had been dead for 5 years, and then he retconned it where she magically just came back. Though, how she survived, it took 2 issues into storyline to actually, it took about the second or third part to finally explain, hey, how the heck did she come back? How did she come back? Her stealth suit managed to avoid being drowned by the Rhino. Yeah, though no one's bothered to explain how the heck he survived drowning a freaking, a base that was a sinking base. That has never been explained. Too bad Slot can't explain that now because he's off doing Iron Man Fantastic Four. Silver Sable has not been seen since then. She has made occasional appearances. I mean, prior to like Ends of the Earth, she has made occasional appearances. At one point, Silver Sable kissed Spider-Man on the lips, so she briefly lifted up his mask, pulling off a Spider-Man 1 moment. Yeah, with Spider-Man hanging upside down, and of course the girl pulls down part of his mask just so she can kiss him. Actually, no. Yeah, the reason why she did that because he saved her life. As a reward, gave her a kiss. She kissed him as a reward, and Jameson was ticked off at that. Yep. Silver Sable, I always thought was a fantastic character. It's just that Marvel doesn't do much with her at all. I mean, her biggest moment for her is basically when she had a brief ongoing series in the 90s. Yeah, called Silver Sable and Wildpack, which the character Salmon was part of. He's actually in this storyline. Yeah, he briefly becomes part of the Wildpack during the brief period of time he's a villain. He's actually a hero. Yeah, someone at Marvel thought this was a good idea, and I do think this was a good idea. And then for some reason in 2000, when Spider-Man launched in 1999, when they reformed the Sinister Six, they had him turn a villain again. As far as I know, I've never heard of the reason why. Like, first you turn him hero, and then he's hero for a good, 15 years. And then for some reason, he turns into a bad guy again. Yeah, that's never explained. Alright, so that's really it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be episode number 839, and Doubleshot number 732. 32. Yep. I believe it's 32, right? I think it's 33. Yeah, 33, which is going to be 2 more Spider-Man trades, okay? But to see you there. Bye.